Two Kenyan activists have been held in incommunicado for about 30 days. I'm talking about Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo. From the reports is that Nicholas Oyo and Bob Njagi were arrested in a place called Kireka at the outskirts of Ugandan's capital city, Kampala, when they were heading to Kampala to campaign for their fellow activist who is now the presidential aspirant, Bobi Wine. And after that, they were now arrested or abducted and believed to be held incommunicado by either Kenyan police officers or the Kenyan security or Ugandan security. And it's been 28 days since their arrest. They were arrested at 1st October 2025. Until date, nobody knows their whereabouts. But there is something fishy, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to say here, is that Kenya has an office that deals with regional conflicts. The Office of Foreign Affairs that is being chaired by Prime Cabinet Secretary and its PS Singoe. In this particular case, they are very silent. And actually, if you ask me, they cannot be silenced for nothing. They know something. Vocal groups and human rights activists and ambassadors, including Amnesty International and Vocal Africa, have called on international bodies to now collaborate with them to pressure the Kenyan government and the Ugandan government to produce these two activists. And there is one thing that does not sit well with me. Recently, the Kenyan government and the Russian government agreed to release Kenyans who are fighting at the Ukraine-Russian border. And they were taken by agents here that they will be given jobs in Russia and end up attending training, military training, and later on be deployed as the frontliners in fighting for Russia. The agreement was signed and agreed that those Kenyan people be returned back to home safely. But in the case of Bob Njagi, Kenyan government have never issued a statement or a follow-up of this case. Ugandan government have denied the presence of these two Kenyan activists in their soil. The Ugandan court even issued orders to the top cream of the leadership of security in Uganda to release them, and nobody gave a chance. They said, hawakuona watu. And from the eyewitnesses say that the two were abducted. Yesterday, a number of human rights groups say that they have an intel that the two Kenyans have been tortured, have been mistreated, and their health is at risk. That let the Kenyan government produce these people, or Ugandan government produce these Kenyan men to their families. The families have been in and out of courts seeking to compel the Kenyan government and the Ugandan government to produce them, whether dead or alive, for them to be at least relieved kwamba wenzetu kweli wapo ama hawapo. And there is something that I want us to look at that is happening in three countries: Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. If you remember recently, when PLP party leader Martha Karua was launching her book in Nairobi, he had invited Ugandan long opposition leader Besigye to attend that book launch. And Giza Besigye was abducted in Kenyan soil and was taken back to Uganda. Until now, he is in police remand. The case be, he was found with illegal firearms. Nonetheless, that one, Kenyan activists who had gone to Tanzania were abducted together with Ugandan activists. They were abducted, tortured, and later, about 1 week, they were released. That is another scenario. There is this scenario now of Bob Njagi and Nicholas Oyo that has now taken a whole month without their traces. And indeed, there is international laws that governs human rights. And if you take a look, there is one common thing in these three countries. The presidency and their governments collaborate with each other to do these heinous acts. The Kenyan government oversaw and facilitated the arrest of Kizza Besigye and denied that Kizza Besigye was not in Kenyan soil when he was abducted. Two, a very recent one was one of the Tanzanian opposition leader who wanted to come and attend Raila's burial, was detained at the Kenya-Tanzania border until Kenyans went and stormed the station and released him. But later on, he was rearrested again and taken back to Tanzania in Kenyan soil. So the case of Bob Njagi, according to me, is that the Kenyan government have all the clues and intel where these two Kenyans are. It's only that they are waiting for the 20 elections of the Ugandan elections to end, or they are holding them to serve as a lesson to other activists who want to peep their nose across the border. There is a clip I want you to watch. The clip done by NTV or Daily Nation, courtesy of Daily Nation, for you to understand what I'm talking about. There have been a number of other activists who have been arrested, both from Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya.
Abducted in Kampala, Uganda on October 10, 2025. His whereabouts remain unknown. His mother pleaded online, appealing to the First Lady Yoweri Museveni to help free her son, promising she'll warn him never to return to Uganda if that's what it takes. But Bob isn't alone. Kizza Besigye from Uganda was abducted on 16th of November 2024 in Nairobi, Kenya. Later he was arraigned in a military court in Kampala, then remanded to prison. Boniface Mwangi, an activist from Kenya, was detained from 18th to 20th of May 2025 in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. He was released on the 22nd of May 2025, deported and found in Uganda, Kenya. Agatha Atuhaire, she was from Uganda. She was detained in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Was later released on 23rd of May 2025 at Uganda-Tanzania border. Mwabili Mwagodi from Kenya. He was abducted in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania and released on the 27th of July 2025. He was found in Kwale, rushed to Mombasa Hospital for treatment. Bob Njagi from Kenya. He was abducted on the 10th of October 2025 in Kampala, Uganda. His whereabouts are still unknown. Nicholas Oyo. He was from Kenya, abducted on the 10th of October